Hey guys, it's Dr. 4, and as you can see I have a Halo collection, which is kind of disorganized right now, but, whatever. So, today I'm going to be talking about, and kind of showing off my collection at the same time, my theory between the Mark 5s and the Mark 6s, as there has been a lot of arguments between them, why this Mark 5 looks so different from this Mark 5. And I have found evidence to prove my theory. So, first of all, kind of panning as I tell you my theory. So, the Mark 5 from Halo 1, I believe, is the Mark 5A. And the reason for me believing this is if you look on some of the earlier Halo Reach figures, on the packages it says Mark 5B, the letter B, which leads me to conclude that I have heard that this is called the Mark 5, and so is this. So, this leads me to believe that this is the Mark 5B, and this is the Mark 5A. And with the Mark 6, the same thing would be with them. This is the Mark 6A. Now, with the Halo 3 Mark 6, there's not enough differences to call the Mark 6B, for it is very, very similar. So, my belief is that this is the Mark 6B, that Cortana has advanced and made better than the original Mark 6. Hence, why it looks so different. Because, everyone knows that Halo 2 Mark 6 and Halo 3 Mark 6 do not actually look that much different. I mean, yes, there are differences, but very subtle ones. It's not enough to call it a new armor. But looking here, you can tell these armors are completely different. In fact, there's very little that is similar to them. The only things are these little things that stick out. Those both have that same characteristic. The Halo 3 Mark 6 Chief did have that scratch on his armor, or that dent, or chip, or whatever you want to call it. But that's my theory, is that this is the Mark 6A, and this is the Mark 6B. And this theory has been carried over from, obviously, the Mark 5A and the Mark 5B. So, and that's why I believe we did not actually get a legitimately new armor in Halo 4, is because this is the B version, or the second version of the Mark 6. Now in Halo 5, it's kind of weird. We don't normally see the same armor. I mean, we have seen the same armor 2 games in a row. Halo Reach had the Mark 5B, Halo 1 had the Mark 5A, and Halo 2 and 3 both had the Mark 6A, and Halo 4 and 5 have the Mark 6B. So that leads me to believe that Halos 7 and 8, when they're made, will have the new Mark 7A. Perhaps Halo 7 will have the Mark 7A, and Halo 8 will have the Mark 7B. Perhaps. We don't know, though, because we don't have enough. We do not have nearly enough information, or begin to have any information, really, as to whether that will be true. But that is my theory to solve this argument of the Mark 5s and the Mark 6s, of how they can look so different, yet be the same armor. Because I know this really ticked me off, because I could never figure out, because both of these are Mark 5s, yet they look so different to me. To me, these don't look even remotely similar. I mean, once you start looking at the actual details and the legitimate shapes of the armor, they just don't look the same. In fact, to me, this looks more like Halo Wars armor than it does that. Which, I believe this was the Mark IV. Now, whether it is Mark IV A or B, I cannot say, as we have not seen another version of this go before or after the timeline of the Halo Wars. We have not seen one, so therefore I cannot offer anything there. But to wrap up this video, that is my theory on the Mark 5s and the Mark 6s, and possibly Mark 7 and 8. Possibly. Or, 7 and 8. So yeah, this is Hood Stalker 4 signing out, and I hope you enjoyed this video.